Greetings, fellow Toastmaster and guests. My name is Rofulazar, and I'll be the sergeant at arms for this meeting. I welcome you all to the P-Charter meeting number 9.
Good evening. Good evening.
So let's play a very quick game. So this is Team A and this is Team B. Once I say Team A, you have to shout, and once I say Team B has to shout. And let's see who can shout more louder. Team A. B. A. B. Very nice. So before we get started, I would like to talk all about Toastmasters and its mission. So Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization which is founded in 1924. Headquarters is Anchorage, Colorado. It has more than 270,000 members and 14,200 clubs across 148 countries. Toastmasters basically provide a supportive and cooperative environment where members prepare speeches and they deliver the speech. They receive and also give the constructive feedbacks, and by doing it regularly, the members are empowered to achieve their personal and professional growth. Now, before we get started, I would like to mention some of the ground rules which we follow. So, rule number 1, please put your mobile phone on switch off or silent mode. I'll give 20 seconds to do the same. Rule number 2, while speaker is speaking on the stage, please don't do cross talking. And rule number 3, if you want to exit the room or enter the room, please do all the day applause. Rule number 4, people or member or guests who are coming on the stage, please follow handshake or fist bump. And people who are attending online, we encourage you to keep your videos on throughout the meetings and be on silent mode until unless you are called by the Toastmaster of the day for your specific role. Now I would like to call the president of the club. So he's a doctor professor at J.P. Morgan.
Please welcome Akshay.
Yeah, please welcome Akshay.
Thank you so much. We decided to cut my half-hour introduction short because we are already running out of time. Thank you once again, Rauful, for that introduction. How is everyone doing?
Great.
It's a wonderful Sunday afternoon here in Bengaluru in HSR layout, and I hope I'm at least fairly audible online. Unfortunately, we're having tech issues with our new mic, which decides how it wants to be on a Sunday per Sunday basis, and today is one of those Sundays. Before we begin this meeting, I just want to tell you all what Toastmasters is. Toastmasters is a platform where we become better speakers and better leaders. You're all here today for a reason. It's not just to chill, which you're going to do. It's not just to have fun, which you're also going to do. You're also here to become better versions of yourself, to reach the zenith of the public speaking and leadership mountain. Bright Hearts is one such chapter in the Toastmasters fraternity in Bangalore, where we empower the fresh, young blood of Bangalore to become better speakers and leaders. Before I begin this meeting, I would like to have a couple of guest introductions. I would like you to come on stage, tell us your name, how did you find out about this club, and why you are here. Your name, how did you find out about Bright Hearts, why you are here. Can we have any volunteers amongst the guests? Vishnu point at man. Yes.
Thank you very much, Akshay. Hi, my name is Kaushik. I found out about Bright Hearts yesterday through the HSR Toastmaster Club. And I'm not new to Toastmasters, fairly new. Been a Toastmaster for a year and a half. New to Bangalore, my 15th year here. So I wanted to find a club, and so here I am. And yeah, thanks and back to you.
Thank you so much. So Kaushik, for the benefit of the audience, can you remind us once again? Bellu Toastmasters.
Bellu Toastmasters. We'll take a look.
Nice. He's part of Bellu Toastmasters, which is District 120. Isn't that right? Great. Can we have one more quick guest introduction? Yes, Priyansh, why don't you come on stage? Who is this mystery individual? don't know.
Hello everyone, I am Priyansh Tripathi. I founded this club through my sister, Tripti Tripathi, and I have been here since last month, and I look for and I want to be a good public speaker. That's why I'm here.
Thank you so much. Priyansh's first month in Bangalore and you're at Bright Hearts Toastmasters. You are the luckiest man in the world. Luckiest. On that note, I would like to declare pre-charter meeting 9 open. How many of you get stressed at your workplace? Can you raise your hands? Nice. We've got 99% of honest people and one liar right there in the glasses saying, I don't get stressed at work. It's a thumbs up from you. Stress at work is a commonplace thing. We all go through it, whether it's tough tasks, those Jiras that come on a Friday night, or maybe just co-workers you cannot stand. I've had a particularly exciting time at work in the last 2 weeks, so I'm particularly going to resonate with this topic today, because I can tell you, Toastmaster of the Day, my time in office in the last 2 weeks was not zen. That being said, I'm looking forward to hearing what you tell me in terms of what I can do to find zen at my workplace. Give it up for the Toastmaster of the Day, Bright Heart, Neville Shah.
It's a bustling Monday morning, and you're rushing towards your office, and suddenly you realize you have 10 unread emails, 10 meetings to attend to today, and 10 Jira tickets which are to have a deadline tonight. Oh my god, how am I going to handle all of this in one day? Rushing from one event to another. How many of you have felt like this? Like a clown juggling with all the plates on a unicycle. Raise your hands if you have been in similar situation ever. Most of us have faced similar situations. And today I am going to talk about a journey where there are multiple tasks which we are attending to. And if we go to the next slide, I just want to show a small clip of where if you are asked to attend multiple meetings during the day, how many of you have watched Panchayat? And if you remember that scene from Panchayat where the guy goes on, meeting, karte raho meeting. That's what was my feeling on that Monday morning. Meeting, karte raho meeting. Just yesterday, I remember I was going to attend the open house at HSR Toastmasters, and the manager called, you need to attend a deployment meeting urgently. And that did my preparation for the tea for today, and I got delayed for the open house as well. By the end of the day, I was so drained out that I reached a point of fatigue. Something which is so inevitable during our day. Every day when we attend so many meetings, we multitask, we become so exhausted after multitasking. But how can we come out of it? How can we become someone who is unfazed by anything that's happening here? Imagine that there are thousands of papers flying around you, and there are thousands of emails coming on your monitor screen. But you are standing there, just calmly sipping your cup of coffee or tea. How can you be that? That's the journey of today, my dear friends. Well, yes, and fellow Toastmasters. Good evening, everyone. And today, I'll walk you through this journey and explain you why you feel similar emotions and how you can anchor yourself and come out of this fatigue and become a person who is just unfazed of everything that's going around. So, before I go into this, I want to introduce you to today's meeting structure the three segments of the meeting. And I would like to take you through 3 points which are very correlated with this set. So the first segment of our Toastmasters meeting is the prepared speech section, where two prepared speakers will give their icebreaker speech today, where they'll come on stage and talk on their selected topic and based on the guidelines of Toastmasters project. But they have prepared with utter focus and care for this prepared speech. So that's one of the important points of SET, where you are very much focused on the task at hand. The second section resonates with the feeling of composure, which is the second session of our Toastmasters meeting, which is table topic session. In this table topic session, guests and Toastmasters will come on stage and present for 1 to 2 minutes on any given topic. You will learn how to stay calm and composed on the stage when you are given a topic suddenly and you are so stressed out and you just have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. That's where you develop the skill of composure. And the third section of the Toastmasters meeting, which is the segment of growth and evaluation, where in Toastmasters we have a constructive environment where each speaker is given feedback by the general evaluator and his team. So you get an opportunity to learn as well as grow in a supportive and nurturing environment. Before I go further on my theme, I would like to invite on the stage the general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Rohit. Before I do, I asked him what is his way of unwinding after a long day. And he said he generally goes for long night walks after a long day. And his hobby is public speaking. I had the opportunity to listen to this exquisite voice at the 400 meeting of HSR Toastmasters, and I was mesmerized by the commanding energy he had and how well he engaged the audience. So let's give it up for the general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Rohit.
No. No, not from there, right? Six. No. One more minute. I'm so sorry, Rohit. If you can fix this, will. Yeah. Take down notes.
Good afternoon, Bright Hearts. I'll be serving as the general evaluator for today's meeting. My name is Rohit Sharma, and my roles and responsibilities as part of this role is to keep an eye on meeting proceedings. I'll be evaluating the entire meeting right from the start till the finish. To accompany me, to help me in this arduous task, I have a team of 4 role players, commonly known as Taggle Team. To start off with, I will invite the timer for today's meeting to lay down the roles and responsibilities as part of our role. So please put your hands together and help me welcome, with a big round of applause, Raihat Bulbul.
my role is to note down the timing of each speaker. I also alert each speakers for the time they have left using this free card. So for the prepared speeches, the timing is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll show green card. At 5 minutes, I'll show yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I'll show red card. For individual evaluation, the timing is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll show green card. 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll show yellow card. And 3 minutes, I'll show red card. For table topic, timing is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30 seconds and 3 minutes, I'll show green, yellow and red card respectively. Please note, after showing red card, they will have a grace time of 30 seconds in which they have to complete their speeches. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. Thank you. I will be back with my report once called upon by the
Thank you so much, Bulbul. Now it's time to invite the account of today's meeting, Toastmaster, Reinhard Prabhsimran.
Today I'm here to tell you what the role of the counter is. It's pretty straightforward. Whenever someone asks you to take up this role, you're like, why me? Greetings, Toastmasters and guests. Before I was part of Toastmasters, all these ahs and ums rarely bothered me. I didn't even notice them. But ever since I've become a part of Toastmasters, it's as if these words jump right at me. I've gained this superpower where I can detect them and I can no longer ignore them. To better understand what are these words that I'm talking about, that is the CRBF, I'd like to see a scenario where let's assume there are a group of people who are presenting a work to their boss. Starting with Mr. Crutchwords. So we took surveys to make things better, that we will understand things better. Coming to Miss Repetition. The work of this is to renovate the playground, because eventually the renovation of the playground is the main task. Going on to Mr. Unintentional Pauses. We made the benches so that the families could be more comfortable sitting on them. Moving on to Mrs. Filler Words. Mrs. Filler Words goes like this. You see, I had trees planted so we can be more economical, because you know that is not only environmental friendly but it will be better for our project. And finally, our last presenter. We have made a smooth pathway so that everyone is safe. We have gotten a positive feedback which shows that we have made a huge impact. As the counter today, ladies and gentlemen, it is my work to make sure you are the rightmost person. I'll keep track of all these crutch words, filler words, repetitions, and at the end, when the general evaluator calls me up on the stage, I'll let you know how you perform. Let's try to make this meeting a smooth one and become less awkward and more awesome. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Prabhsimran. Now it's time to call upon the grammarian for today's meeting, Reinhard Ruchi, onto the stage.
Good evening, Reinhard.
Good evening.
And guests. I am Ruchi and I am grammarian for the day. As a grammarian, my responsibility is to pay close attention to all the speakers and carefully listen to all the language uses. I will take note of any improper usage of language as well as outstanding words, quotes, sayings or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my responsibility to introduce a word of the day, which is fatigue, meaning tiredness, weariness or lack of energy. An example of the word in a sentence is, she had to stop working when the fatigue sets in. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I request all the Reinhard members as well as guests to show a thumbs up whenever a speaker uses the word of the day.
come at the end of the meeting when the journal evaluator will call to present the report for today.
Thank you, Ruchi. Now it's time to call upon the final role player. We have Right-Heart Wasim as the listener. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Listener is one role I really like a lot. Can anyone guess why?
So they will ask questions.
Exactly. Which even the general evaluator doesn't have the permission to ask. He evaluates the whole thing, but he cannot ask anyone any questions. He can just suggest improvisations. Whereas I can ask questions to everyone. So, on the side note, I feel listening, the best part of public speaking is that you never know the amount of audience they are and which part of the speech can impact someone. Like when I went back, it's actually a 1906 speech in Johannesburg, which Mahatma Gandhi heard. And then his reflection on that particular speech, which brought down this whole non-violent movement. So hoping you all will be good listeners today. So as a listener, I will be listening to all the speeches and everyone who come on stage today. And then I will be making note of all the important or interesting tidbits in their speeches. I encourage you all to do the same. And then at the end of the meeting, I will come up with questions to check your listening skills. Thank you. Wonderful. That brings us to the end of the introductions of our role players. I now hand the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Right-Heart Neville. The role of the general evaluator is one of the toughest roles in this meeting. He has to stay focused, be composed, as well as listen to the entire meeting and meticulously take notes. It's a 2 hours meeting and this person has to listen to the whole. How many of you can keep your attention for at least a minute on a single task? Most of us can do. Yes? How about 10 minutes? 20 minutes? Yes, the number of hands are reducing. How about 1 hour? Few minutes, yes. And now, if you look at what is going on in our mind when we are not able to focus, it's like when we are trying to focus on a task or we are doing multiple tasks at the same time, our mind is like this monkey mind, where there are hundreds of groups of monkeys jumping around and dancing with their energy. And as you can see, these monkeys are draining your energy. This is just the beginning of the set of fatigue, when you start feeling tired and exhausted. And as you keep on doing these tasks, you will realize that you are kind of drained out of energy. But then how do you find your anchor? Do you remember to breathe anytime? Does anyone remember to breathe? Yes. Or it is just happening naturally? Exactly. So I'll take you through a journey later on how using your breath you can anchor yourself and control this wandering mind. Before that, let's start with the prepared speech section, and I would like to call upon the first evaluator or the first speaker, who is a budding writer and he loves to read sci-fi novels, and his way of unwinding is one of my personal favorites. He likes to take a warm shower and then watch One Piece anime. This is one of my favorite unwinding routine too. So let's give a big round of applause for Manish.
Good evening, bright hearts.
Good evening.
I am Manish, and today I'll be evaluating Ishan Sen. The purpose of the project is very simple. It's an icebreaker. All you have to do is introduce yourself and learn the basic structure of a speech. So, all the best. I know you've prepared well and looking forward to your speech. Over to the team.
watch YouTube videos as an unwinding strategy after a long day. And his lean body is a testament of his hobby of working out. So let's give a big round of applause for Ishan Shetty. Ishan, what is life well lived? What is life well lived, Ishan?
No. This single word resonated deep within my family, altering ambitions, changing paths, and eventually sparking a flame that runs deep within and eventually motivates me. Toastmasters, bright hearts, and fellow guests. Imagine this. You're 80, sitting amongst your grandchildren, taking them through your life story. You're talking, you're probably thinking about all of these memories and recollecting all those good moments of your life. What are those moments when the eyes of these children light up? What are those moments where you think that you were really proud when you lived through it? I'll take you through a story of two generations where we explore this whole concept of what is a life truly well lived. Imagine Mumbai in 1980s, a city buzzing with ambition and possibility. My father, a person who was ahead of his time in terms of his vision, thought of this one simple concept of having televisions in all the houses through cable connections. Imagine him perched on rooftops of buildings, stirring ropes of wires and connecting different buildings to have cable connections there. This was such an old concept back then that there were only two people attempting it in Mumbai, my father and another man. The business reached a point after which my dad had to make a decision whether to continue with this college or to do this full time. This was exactly that moment where he had to go ahead to my grandfather and take permission to drop out of college. No, a resounding no is what he told him. Sadly, this was when my dad had to stop in his tracks and halt his entrepreneurial spirits. While my dad stopped, the other guy continued. This man's name is Ronnie Stuwala. This man eventually went on to build a company called UTV, which became a media giant, got listed on the stock market, and was acquired by Disney. While this happened, my dad tried his hand on multiple other businesses, from garments to restaurants. He eventually found his niche in education and built training centers to upskill people for skincare, hair care, makeup. Today he has 5 such centers in Mumbai, and he's content with what he has built over this whole period. I was a quiet, shy kid back then, and having this constant change really was not as stable. I remember comparing our family with the ones of my peers, noticing a very clear gap. While this was the case, my parents made sure that I really lived a comfortable life. My dad always encouraged me to go out and play and actually be with people instead of sit inside and study. That thing made me realize a very important lesson. It made me realize that having street smarts is sometimes more important than getting good grades. This was that very moment when I decided that I want to go out there from being a quiet, introverted kid to really making sure that I'm meeting more people and making good connections. Fast forward to my college. We had this one professor who went around asking everyone, what do they want to do when they grow up? I raised my hand. I want to become an entrepreneur. I was the only guy in college who said that. The entrepreneurial spirit was really passed down from my dad to me. After graduation, I co-founded this company called Bazaar. It was one of India's first hyperlocal marketplaces. during COVID, when all businesses were shut, the whole concept was we were getting your local bazaar onto your doorstep. From grocery to hardware, we were selling everything in the middle. But as fate has it, history has a funny way of echoing itself. What my dad experienced is something that I didn't think I would experience again. While we were building this, I vividly remember walking into one supermarket on a sweltering afternoon, the owner looking up to me and saying that, another group of guys with an app again. This is exactly that point when we knew that we had competition right in our neighborhood. Their name was Kirana Cart. While Bazaar had an unsustainable business model because of which we faced a lot of challenges, Kirana Cart pivoted. From 45-minute delivery, they went on to 10-minute delivery. They focused on one single category. Over a period, Kirana Cart executed beautifully and they changed their name from Kirana Cart to Zepto. In case of Bazaar, we had to eventually wind up. I still remember that day when I had to sit across 15 of our employees and had to lay them off. It was one of the hardest days of my life. As this happened, my parents, my relatives, my friends, all of them told me, Ishan, you really shouldn't do this again. You know, why don't you take up higher studies, take up a job and do what you're supposed to do? This was exactly that moment where I felt, oh, something like this has happened before. This was that moment when I went to my dad and I asked him, do you really regret that you didn't listen to your heart? This was when I heard a resounding yes. Exactly at this very moment, I decided to pack my bags and make a move to Bangalore and take another shot at entrepreneurship. So, what do I say when I say, what is a life well lived? Really listening to your heart, really looking at those moments where you have your mind and you have your heart. What do you listen to? You're not quite sure. What are these moments? I believe these are those moments where you really think of what would happen when you're 80, sitting in front of your grandchildren and talking about those stories that will really light up their eyes and those stories that you will be proud of, those courageous moments. That is what I mean when I say this is a life well lived. Thank you, everyone.
And inspiring story, Ishan. I have tried entrepreneurship once before, and I think after hearing your story, I want to plunge at it, take a plunge at it again. So thank you for that inspiring story and motivating all of us to live our life to the fullest, such that when we are at age 80, we can tell encouraging and inspiring stories to our grandkids if we have it. Now coming back to our theme of the day, where I essentially talk about a resounding no and yes. I will take you to another metaphor of the monkey too, where a monkey walks on a road which is just paved and the tar starts sticking on his feet. And now this monkey is trying to remove that tar from his clothes. It's like something what we do on a daily basis, where we don't like something, we are trying to avoid it. We are trying to run away from it. And where do we run away from it? We are either running away in the past or the future. It's like the monkey is jumping from one branch to another, trying to catch either something in the past or catch something in the future. But it is never there in the present moment. We are never grounded in this moment and we are just roaming around. And with that, let's move on to the next speech for today. Before that, I would like to call the second evaluator for the day. He is someone who loves playing cricket, and he has the hobby of practicing against machine in net place, and he tries to play in such defensive shots so that his wicket doesn't go easy. He also likes unwinds by playing guitar in a dimly lit room. So let's give it up for Toastmaster Prakhar Tandon.
Good evening, bright hearts. How are you doing? After a long, stressful, full of day work, you come on Saturday to Bright Hearts. What to do? Public speaking. And there are few people. By looking at their face, you want to know their story. Well, Bright Hearts, today is your chance to do that. So today I will be evaluating a special person's speech whose main objective is to introduce himself in front of the club. Timer, please note that the speech timing is 4 to 6 minutes, and he's going to follow the basic nuances of public speaking in addition to that. With that, I wish the speaker a very best of luck, and guests and bright hearts, please note that we have a tradition to greet the speaker with a standing ovation right after the speech. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Just like this evaluator, our next speaker is also learning guitar. He loves to jam, and he has the best unwinding routine of dancing as well as practicing yoga. So let's give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Vishnu. Toastmaster Vishnu, the journey of blessings, Toastmaster Vishnu.
Would we agree on a point that we all go through ups and downs in our phases of life?
Yes.
Can someone tell me what is that feeling which we will have when we are going through a low phase of a life?
Sadness.
Sad. Anything else? Disappointing. Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, bright hearts, guests, good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
I am Vishnu Pradeep from the land of God's own country, Kerala. How many of you have heard about Mahabali, who visits Kerala during the time of Onam, as per the legend? Great. Physical appearance of Mahabali is depicted as fair-skinned man with a moustache and a big pot belly. When I was at 4th standard, in my school, St. Thomas High School, my class teacher, Minnie Vengal, she was my class teacher since my 1st standard. She selected me to play the role of Mahabali. It was not because of I had this moustache at the age of 4 or the class of 4. It was all because of that big pot belly which I had. Even Mahabali couldn't compete with. All the stage set, Mahabali was invited on the stage with a huge background music. He was an emperor once who believed to rule Kerala. Little Mahabali got trembled in front of that hundreds of audience and with that huge loud background music. He couldn't even utter a single word which he prepared for his speech. He started crying. I took 1 second to start crying, which didn't even last for more than 10 seconds. Do you know why? The entire audience in front of me, which included my teachers, my parents, my friends, started applauding for me with a huge sound. I regained my confidence. I was very happy to see that, which I'll never forget, even if I hit my 60s. Have anyone of you participated in a music competition without even knowing the basics of music? Great, I've also done that during my college first year in ACT College of Engineering, Thiruvananthapuram. I gained this confidence from that previous episode of Mahabali. Again, the stage all set, I was standing in front of the stage. My chess number was called. Chess number 7, Vishnu Pradeep on stage. Okay, I took the mic, started singing a Malayalam song. കുട്ടനാടൻ കുഞ്ചയിലെ കൊച്ചു പെണ്ണെ കുയിലാളെ വര 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 വര. This vara 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 didn't happen because of any internet outage. This happened because of I forgot the next lines. I was standing in front of those audience thinking that applaud will come. Instead of that, what happened? When I looked at that audience, they were laughing at me, making fun of me, and they were talking to each other. I was left alone in that stage, thinking what to do next. Suddenly, I heard a sound from the backstage. That was my college union chairman, Anita. She called me back to stage. To the backstage, yeah. And then she told me, Vishnu, it's okay, relax. I'll give you a second chance to go and then perform later. Yes, I had the second chance. I went there and then completed my song. And then, do you know what prize I got? Obviously, nothing. From there, engineering. I completed my engineering in mechanical. And I ended up in an IT firm, Tata Consultancy Services, as a Java developer. Years went by. I understood that I was not able to understand Java. And even Java was not able to understand my situation. We decided to break up. That was a time in my life I had the lowest prices. And I didn't know what to do. During that time, there was a family function. I was chatting with my cousin brother, Jitish. He asked me a question. Do you want to switch your career from Java to cyber security? I said yes, without even a single thought. From there, he helped me to take an initial certification. I moved my career from Java to cyber security. I didn't want to look back then. The journey continued from TCS to Allianz to Deloitte to Nike and currently with Amazon. Yes, whenever you are going through your life in low phases, there will be somebody who will be giving you blessings. And those blessings will make you feel you are not alone. Make you understand there is always an alternative. Make you not to fear for any setbacks in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you are going through a low phase in your life, it's quite natural to have those feelings of sadness, fear, anger, disappointment. I would say, take time, pause, reflect, count your blessings. My journey of blessings. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishnu, for taking us through a journey of blessings and showing us how to take a pause. And whenever we are feeling low, there's always an alternative route around approach points. And that's where we come back to our team, where we also have an alternative. Rather than going from taking the monkey route, which is jumping from one branch to another, our minds are like this monkey, which is jumping from one branch to another, wandering from the future to the past. Now, how many of you are craving for these samosas which Akshay usually orders during the break? Only Akshay. Yes, so like that, our minds are never there in the present moment. And before I take you to the secret recipe of how we can come back to the present moment, how we can pause and be in the present moment, we will take a short break. And before we go on a break, let's vote for the best speaker of the day. You can all open this link, bit.ly/BHTN vote 1, and vote for the best
speaker for the day.
To calm down. So, what is one thing that stays with you from the day you are born to the day you are alive? Any guesses? I mean, do you remember the day you were born? Yeah? Yeah, 40? Around that? Yeah, I mean, your breath is something which starts when you take the first step in your life, when you come out of your to this world, and it stays with you till you're alive. And that is the only constant with you throughout your journey of life. Now, if you want to calm this monkey mind, you have to pause and take a break and start observing your breath. So we'll do a small short exercise for like 30 seconds where I'll request all of you to just observe your breath. And how do you observe your breath? You just observe the incoming breath while it's going in and while it is going out. So we'll close our eyes, just sit there, and if you're not able to observe your breath, you can just take a slightly deep breath and you'll start observing the touch of the breath in this region. So let's do this exercise for 30 seconds and let's see before and after how do you guys feel. Let's start. All of you close your eyes and observe your breath. Yeah, all of you can open your eyes. How do you guys feel? Little better? Slightly. And what if you do this not just for 30 seconds? What do you do this for 30 minutes or 1 hour daily? You will see a drastic difference in your concentration as well as this. You will start coming back to the present moment. So anytime you feel overwhelmed or stressed in your life, you can always come back to your breath. Consider this as your anchor to bringing back to the present moment. Breath is something which you can't take it to the future or you can't take it to the past. It's always there in the present moment. So it's like inviting this monkey to come down there and sit on the little branch and just breathe. That's how you can connect with yourself and go from the monkey mind to the monk mind. A mind which jumps from one branch to another to the mind which is calm and composed. So with that, I would like to conclude this session with saying that be with your breath anytime, anywhere, because that's your anchor, and let your breath be your anchor always. As we go to the next session where we have our table topic session and we have to speak on the spot for 1 to 2 minutes. Whenever you come on the stage, just for 5 seconds, just observe your breath and start speaking. you'll see a difference where you'll be more composed and calm. Before I call upon the table topic master of the day, I would like to introduce her. She is someone who is an artist and loves reading, and her unwinding strategy is writing. Let's welcome on stage the Queen of Bright Hearts Toastmaster, DTM Arundhati Basu.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Neville. Good evening, fellow Bright Hearts and guests. Good evening. Very nice. While we all know that Table Topics is that segment that helps us prepare impromptu and speak, it's also important that the real life skill, you don't always get situations where you meet somebody and you do a 1 to 2 minute speech. What actually unfolds in our everyday life, ladies and gentlemen, is conversations. You actually meet somebody and you start speaking, you ask a few questions, they ask a few questions, you share some insight, something interesting that you read, that you heard, and that's the reality of our everyday life. So while Table Topic really facilitates the process of impromptu thinking, today at Bright Hearts, we wanted to bring to you a special segment where we are going to facilitate the art of having conversations. So this is how this segment will work. I will ask two of you all to volunteer. You can come and make use of the setting we have here, just like a coffee table conversation in whichever place you would have had that in life. Think of it as meeting somebody near the water cooler or just at the grocery store and a conversation that you would have had. What would happen is, I will give you one card to begin with, which will have a very simple theme. You start your conversation on that theme, and at about 1.5 minutes, I will slip in a second card which will have another theme. And you can choose to blend that theme into your conversation. For example, let's say your first card said books, and you started speaking about books, something you've read, how reading is a great habit, and then your second card said movies. And you can then flip in by saying, there are so many books that have now been adapted into movies, and build on the conversation. On the contrary, you can choose to completely transition. From talking about an interesting book, you can transition the conversation by saying, just on that note, last evening I watched an interesting movie, and segue completely to the movie. The art of having that conversation is totally dependent on you. Some do nots to begin with. This is not a table topic segment where you would be judged on how well you modulated your voice, what message you put across, what gestures you unfolded. This is more of a conversational segment, so just do it like you would converse with a friend, a colleague, or a partner at different phases of your life. The timing, to reiterate, for this segment is 2 to 3 minutes as opposed to a 1 to 2 minute standard timing. The timer card will go up at 1.5 minute green card, 2.5 minute yellow card, and 3 minute red card. When you come on stage, the two individuals, I will ask each of you to choose a number. All my cards have a number. You can choose your number. I'll hand over the cards to you. You start with the first card, and when the green card goes up at 1.5 minutes, you can flip the second card and build on the conversation. You've got to end it once the red card goes up at 3 minutes. Are we good?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, let's get started. Perfect. So first up, we had a person who's already volunteered for this segment ahead of time during break, and that is Toastmaster Akshay. But I need one other person to volunteer to have this conversation with Akshay. So who's coming up? Sarthak, come on. Okay. Sarthak, you can have this mic. Right. Please have your seating, gentlemen. Sarthak, what's your number? Between 1 to 5.
3.
That's your card. Don't flip it yet. Akshay, between 1 to 5.
1.
That's your card. So you can start by flipping your card. You don't have to tell what the theme is. Just start the conversation. At 1.5 minutes when the green card goes up, flip your card, Akshay, and build on the conversation. You can keep your cards here just so that both of you are aware what the theme is.
But how would they know what the theme is?
Based on your conversation, they'll figure. So let's see how well you converse.
But they evaluate only that.
Rohit, I will tell you.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. So let's get started. Over to both of you gentlemen. Timer, you can start.
Books are getting quite rare, isn't it?
Books are getting quite rare. I guess so, Sarthak. So I don't know if you know this about me. I run a book club of my own.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've been running it for 3.5 years, and I agree with the sentiment that books, in terms of popularity, they are waning a lot. I think it has a lot to do with social media, the social media virus, and of course, streaming services are kind of killing that.
I agree, because I actually have been a victim of the same thing, because I used to be an avid reader since I think till I got my first smartphone and started using Instagram. Used to finish books, one book a week. Now I'm down to one book a year. That's horrible, right?
And I see exactly why that's happening, because a lot of people, because especially adults who are working really hard and stuff, the idea of coming back home and opening a book is no longer a relaxing prospect for many. Rather, opening up Netflix or Hotstar and just putting on a show is like instant gratification that a book cannot give you. I think books are more don't you think books are more like a patient sort of
slow burn? Like you work your end till the when the things unfold. When you open Insta, it's like 10 seconds you're gone. Like reading a 1,000-page novel, it's a task versus like flip a few pages.
On that note though, they are even making books appealing now. Have you ever gotten into an audiobook before?
Audiobook? I can't say that I have.
Okay, because that's really something which I believe is a great way for people who have lost touch reading with actual books. They can get back into reading with audiobooks. You should hear this one particular audiobook. It's The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. The production values are off the charts, right?
Let me stop you there. I watched the TV show for The Sandman though.
Oh, really?
Neil Gaiman, yeah.
Yeah, then I think you'll definitely enjoy that. But speaking of audiobooks, I think audiobooks are also turning out to be a popular medium for learning. Have you ever tried using or listening to learning material while on the go?
I have, but to the point that you're substituting books for an audiobook, I still kind of feel that you don't get the joy out of reading though, right?
I agree. But I think the joy again when it comes to books depends on, are you doing something you like? For instance, I like to listen and learn about history on the go. I recently listened to Shashi Tharoor's Why I Am a Hindu, because I wanted to learn a lot about Hindu culture, right? So going to and fro from office, it was a very educative experience, listening to it, getting to understand about how pluralistic Hinduism is as a religion, which you don't really see nowadays, right? To think that Hinduism is that religion which accepts everything. It's so awesome, right? And it was very educative, and that's something which I think I got from an audiobook, which I probably would not have gotten from reading a paperback, right?
So when you're talking about audiobooks as a learning experience, I did try out a podcast about East India Company. You should give it a try. But the only downside is I am distracted by whatever happens around me. Should I focus on history, what the Mughals did, or should I focus on my task at hand?
Right. I think right now we should focus on the red card. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much, Akshay and Sarthak. So, ladies and gentlemen, their two themes, obviously you would have guessed, were books and education. And you did see how the conversation built, starting with books and then digressed into building in education or the learning experience. Very well done, Akshay and Sarthak. Before we move on to the next two volunteers, two quick things, because it's a new segment, so I'll keep flagging this every time. When you flip the cards, please make it visible to both individuals so that both of you are aware. And also, please be mindful that this is not a panel or a forum of discussion. This is just a conversation. So keep that in mind. Forget the audience that's watching you. Concentrate on your conversation. Who's next? Two people. Oh, wow. Okay, I got Srinidhi and Madhur and Kaushik. We come to you next. Right, Madhur, what's your number? You've got to pick between 1, 2, 4, 5. 3 is not.
4.
Sure, that's your card. Srinidhi, between 2 to 5. 5. That's your card. Have your seat, gentlemen. That's your mic. Very nice. I'm going to take these away. Flip your cards on the table so that both can see. Are we good?
Wait.
Yes, you can. You can. After one and a half. Ready? All best. Time off. Get started.
Hi, man.
So, which sports did you play?
Well, there's a list of it. You have to be specific.
Okay. Anyone that you love?
Football.
Football? Oh, nice. Did you started play football in your schools or?
Yes, I did. I was the goalkeeper for our high school team.
Oh, nice. Are you also a part of any club or anything where you get your exposure to?
I was, but then you know how life is.
Yeah, sure. But even after that, don't you feel you should take time and expose yourself to other sports or anything like that?
Well, I did. Everything has its era. So
Correct,
there was cricket, then football, then table tennis, then came to throwing balls in my terrace.
Correct. For me, I am very interested to try new things, like explore new things. So in my school days, I was a part of a cricket club where I represented Maharashtra state.
Wow.
And in school, the club was like I was a parted away, and I was more interested in you know Malkham or Indian gymnast.
Okay.
I have also represented that in my college, but here in Bangalore, it's hard to get those kind of club where you can take exposure to the different sports. So recently, I have brought badminton to explore. Badminton, yes, and skates, inline skates.
Well, talking about sports, did you ever play any games with your family?
Yeah, sure. In family get together, the best time we had is by playing cards. And Uno. Yeah.
That's how you make enemies of your family.
Correct. Perfect blend maker. And you get to share the gossips.
Well, with my family, I'd say it's cricket, because my sister and my dad used to gang up and beat me in cricket, which made me play again and again, only to lose every single time.
Oh, this reminds me of a situation where our family get-together happens in Diwali, where all my cousin comes into our native place, and we are almost 15 to 16 cousins at one time. So we are two cricket team playing against each other. We had a great time, and I always wait to have that movement every year during the time of Diwali.
Oh, that's a great thing to hear. Other than the game, 16 cousins.
Yeah, 16 cousins.
It's like a whole cricket team plus substitutes.
Correct. Including extra.
Wow, great. With me, it's just 5 cousins.
Okay.
You can't make a cricket team with 5 cousins, so it's a small...
But you can play cards?
Yeah, we can. Coming back to the family, you know what? My mom's calling. Catch up later.
Thank you so much, Madhur and Srinidhi, for that. So their topic, gentlemen, where they spoke about sports and family. Those were the two topics. I think that was very evident. It was funny because Srinidhi is just almost getting out of college, and he already spoke about life happens and that era. I'm not sure who's reciting in it. But Uno, Madhur, I'm going to take that. I always hated a +4 in Uno. Never liked that card. I wish there was a reverse. Right, who's up next? Wow, that's a lot of fun. Kaushik and Priyansh. My God. Right, so Priyansh, you've got to choose between 2, 3 and 4. 2. Here you go. And Kaushik, you've got to pick between 1, 2 and 5. 1. Here you go. Please take your seat. There's your mic. Right, so you run in with the team there. That's the first thing. And that needs to be flipped after 1.5. Cool. Let's get started.
Hi Kaushik, how are you?
Your good name?
Priyansh.
Hi Priyansh, nice to meet you.
Oh, so are you a foodie?
No, but I eat a lot though.
You eat a lot. What kind of food do you love?
I love food that we can eat a lot, like chapatis and parotas.
Okay.
So you?
Yeah, I love my dal made from my mother's hand.
Okay.
And with rotis.
Awesome. I have a question that I have to ask you. How many rotis that you've eaten in your entire life?
The entire
the
life?
highest in a dinner night.
In a dinner night, everyone would be shocked.
Let me know.
I've eaten 22.
I did too.
Oh, man.
So how did that happen?
No, actually, me and my brother, we just came home after playing cricket whole day, and our auntie was making rotis. She made rotis for everyone. That roti is for everyone, but we two of the guys finished all.
Oh.
And everyone was like, my auntie was like, no, I'm not going to give you all.
What happened to the other people though?
He made again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my 22 chapati. So this is the story how it happened. I was in a boarding school.
Okay.
Okay. So we come after playing and everything. We are at dinner. They have chapati plus chana. Okay. The thing is, there is a competition.
Okay.
Okay. Junior versus senior. So 7 versus 7. So guess how many chapatis 7 of us ate together?
Almost 100.
150.
Oh man.
Okay. And so that's the story, and long story short, we ate so much and nice to have another person like us. So speaking of that, I'm sure having a lot of chapatis is not our hobbies for sure. What's your hobby though?
My hobby is like to get to know about the cars and all. And getting into, I love to watch those videos about it, describing them.
Awesome.
Yes.
And anything else?
I love to play some kind of sports, like any activities or going on treks.
Awesome.
Yes.
Speaking of treks, is there some? I also trek, by the way.
Okay.
So if you take my place, Vellore, I've trekked almost all the hills around.
Okay, I've done 2 treks. One is Skandgiri.
Okay.
And one I've been to Triund.
Okay, awesome.
It was a nice trek. It is a 2-day trek, and where we stay under the stars, sleep under the stars, and then in the camp. It was a night.
Okay, this is where?
In Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand, awesome. Okay. Is there a hobby that no one knows but you have specifically for you?
Specifically for me, eating, I would say.
Okay.
I would not say anyone that I love to eat, but I would eat whole day sitting and sleeping.
Awesome.
What kind of hobby do you have? Like any specific hobby?
Sports.
Okay.
And trekking and cycling. Having said that, the timer has showed us a card, and it was a pleasure.
It was a good.
Right, so their topic was food and hobbies, and I loved how Priyan said eating is my hobby, so it's default food. But well done, both of you. I just got an idea. We at our club should once do a hogging competition, and we know who are our top contenders for that one. Right, ladies and gentlemen, who's next? Last set that we can do for today. Any volunteers? Yes, Ria and Sharan. Come on, Team Ishan, let's go. I didn't think of that. Right, okay, Ria, you get to pick between 2 and 5. That's yours. You can clip this. Sharan, you get to pick between 3 and 4.
4.
Okay, that's yours. That's yours. Hello. Yeah, go. You can keep that. That's what we start with at 1.5 minutes. Ready?
This is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yo, how's your Sunday?
Going good.
Okay. Do you work out?
Yes, do you?
Not really, but you look like someone who works out.
Yeah, I try to take care of my health because it's very important these days. We have such a bad lifestyle nowadays. All the time we're just sitting and not moving around. Like even though I work out in the morning, like the rest of the day I'm doing nothing. So I just try to move as much as I can.
Okay. Is it mostly because we are having a lot of sedentary lifestyle, or do you also focus on your diet?
I try to.
Okay.
I try to as much as I can, but obviously there are those cheat days, right, where you want to indulge, and yeah.
But do you do you believe in the fact that like it's 80% diet and 20% like working out?
I also think even though it's diet, I also think in the long run it's so much important because, I mean, like my parents have always been like into working, like not working out, but having a fit lifestyle, like an active lifestyle. So I think it is passed down from them. So I like working out. I try to work out as much as I can. What do you do to take care of your health?
I eat well, really well.
Okay, I saw that. I saw Meghna yesterday.
Without getting concerned about what I am eating, I eat.
Okay, I like to cheat on vacations. So this is my vacation. So I've been cheating every day, but I'm also trying to work out. Like
cheating on your diet is what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else do you think?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how's your vacation? What have you been up to?
Just moving around in the city. Like, do you know any good place in Bangalore that I can actually go and enjoy my vacation, or like end my vacation because it's coming to an end tomorrow?
You are already having a pretty interesting evening. So I think,
Thanks
the right
to
place.
Toastmasters, Bright Hearts. What's your favorite vacation spot?
Like I don't like it's not about a spot for me, it's more of experience. Like I backtrack from what I want to experience and then pick a place and then go around it.
So what's your favorite experiential vacation?
Sleeping and my room.
Sleeping in your room is like
sleeping
your
is the
vacation?
experience
Wow.
and room is the destination.
Wow. So I'll tell you about mine. I went on a vacation this year and we did scuba diving, which was really interesting. And I mean, even I like to have experiential vacations.
Right.
But
Scuba diving is fun actually. I mean, it's very like, nice knowing you.
Nice meeting you too.
See you around.
Thank you. So their topic was health and vacation, and I love how they initially discussed about health and workout, and then he ended it by saying my favorite vacation is sleeping in my room. Very healthy indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this segment. The primary purpose of this was to ensure that we not only becoming good speakers, but we becoming communicators who can then manage conversations at different stages and phases of life. I think everybody, starting from books to learning to education, food, family, sports, hobbies, vacation, everything was spoken about. Loved how everybody picked it up, transitioned and shared their conversations, just like it was one fine evening meeting a friend outside. So well done to all the participants. That's my time, and on that note, back to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Rohit.
Check. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Arundhati. Now it's time for the general evaluation section. We will start off with the evaluations of the prepared speeches first. For that, I would like to invite the evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Manish, to evaluate Toastmaster Ishan.
The starting point is always now. The end is up to you. Toastmaster Ishan, you just showed us that all you have to do is start and follow your heart, and nobody decides the end but you. Now let's find out what actually stood out in your speech. Toastmaster Ishan, I like the structure of your speech. You weaved and sculpted your speech in a beautiful way. It flew like a river. You had an introduction where you talked about your father and how your father struggled initial days, how your father started his business, and then how your grandfather rejected him on following his passion. Then you moved on to your body. The body of the speech, which consisted of your entrepreneurial journey, where you wanted to try something different, try something new, and how it didn't go that well. And then the conclusion on how you never gave up and you decided to follow your heart. The second thing that I really liked about your speech was your conclusion. Now, in public speaking, there's a saying that what you say at the end resonates with everyone, and people always take that back with them. Now, this is not what we actually expect in Icebreaker, that you should have a solid conclusion. But personally, I felt the way you concluded had a real big impact on me. And I took a message from you that we should follow our heart no matter what happens. Now, moving on to what could have been better. I observed that you held your fingers like this most of the times. Now, I don't know if it's a habit or if it's something something you're feeling nervous or something like that, but what you could probably do is, whenever you're practicing next time in front of a mirror or a camera, try to put your hands sideways. And even though you have the urge to put your hands like this, put it in mind that I have to keep my hands open and free. So what happens is, when you keep your fingers like this, the concentration of the audience goes towards the fingers and sometimes misses what you're saying, and they lose track of what you're saying. So you could probably imbibe these hand gestures, these open hand gestures, and try to keep it sideways. The second is, I observed that you, in few instances, you were looking down. When you're speaking the speech, you were like moving like this. Now, it has happened to me as well during my initial days of public speaking, that any public speaker who starts off, they look down like that, maybe to remember a line, maybe to remember a part of a speech. But even I had to overcome that. What I would suggest you is that you can take a pause. It's not bad to take a pause when you are speaking. And if you forget a line or a part of the speech, you can look at the audience or somebody who you're more comfortable with and just look at them, remember the line and move on, rather than looking down. Try to work with your mentor and try to make sure you maintain the eye contact while speaking. Apart from that, you really met your objectives today. You had a great structure and a solid conclusion, but if you just work on this particular hand gesture and looking down while speaking, you will take your speaking to the zenith of public level. You will go to the next level of public speaking. And congrats, and looking forward to your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. Now it's time for evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Prakhar, to evaluate Toastmaster Vishnu.
Toastmaster Vishnu. After hearing your speech, I felt thoughtful and positive. To structure it down, you excelled at the following points. Your structure of the speech. You started off with a question to the audience. Has anyone experienced the curve of highs and lows in life? You also gave examples in life. Even by competing ad hoc in a music competition without any preparation, playing Mahabali on stage, taking a leap of faith from transitioning your career from mechanical to IT, Java to cyber security, and you even had a solution to the problem that you wanted to portray. Point number 2 is portrayal of characters. The way you described the physical appearance of Mahabali, it was really very much narrative. A fair, broad person with a pot belly and a mustache. Point number 3 is humor. I resembled Mahabali, tall, fair, mustache with a pot belly, that even Mahabali would get an inferiority complex. You even gave examples of when you were anticipating an applause but you didn't get. To combine all, you excelled at structure of speech, the portrayal of characters, the humor. Just a nitpick, in order to give feedback, you can practice emphasizing on pauses. For example, after your initial stint where you performed as Mahabali on stage and you were applauded by a thunderous applause, you could take a pause. Let the audience anticipate that they are about to hear that you are going to receive a thunderous applause, but on contrary, you hear laughs, teases, laughter from the audience. All in all, you excel structure of speech, humor, portrayal, and if you incorporate pause along with, just count your blessings, remembering that adversities are blessing in disguise, you will be an artist speaker in the future. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Rohit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prakhar. Now it's time for the Tagel reports. So let's start off with the timer, Toastmaster Bulbul, to read out the timer reports.
Good evening all. So the timing for today is meeting started at 4:06. Essay Raffle took 2 minutes 45 seconds. Akshay took 4 minutes 22 seconds. Ishan took 7 minutes 30 seconds. Vishnu took 6 minutes 3 seconds. Evaluator 1 Manish took 3 minutes 14 seconds. Evaluator 2 Prakhar took 2 minutes 32 seconds. For table topic, the speaker 1 and 2, the combined speaker Akshay and Sarthak took 3 minutes 15 seconds. Madhur and Srinidhi took 3 minutes 5 seconds. Priyansh and Kaushik took 3 minutes 14 seconds. And Riya and Sharan took 3 minutes 14 seconds. So, yeah. Back.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bulbul. Now it's time to read out the counter report. For that, I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Prabh Simran.
Greetings, Toastmasters. I hope you remember the 4 characters and the 5th person that I talked about. Yes. Keep those in mind because at the end of my report, we'll have the scores for each one of them. Right? Starting with our Sergeant at Arms today, Toastmaster Raffle. So a shout out from Team A. Woo! Come on, guys. Woo! Shout out from Team B. Woo! Because Toastmaster Raffle, even though he had a few R's and some filler words, but as compared to his previous meetings, he has drastically improved on this portion. So kudos to that. As far as Toastmaster Akshay is concerned, when it comes to introducing the club, he is at the zenith of not using any CRPS. So great job on that. As far as Toastmaster Neville is concerned, Toastmaster Neville, you had a few R's. You did repeat the word "and" a lot of times, maybe because you were trying to join the sentences, so we can work on that. And you had 2 instances where you repeated a few words or phrases. Up until now, Toastmaster Rohit has not made or used any CRPS. Let's hope that continues till the end of the meeting. So kudos to that. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Ishan. You had 2 R's and you used the word "that" as a filler word multiple times. But I did notice that you used the word when you were following your heart, when you were trying to explain your thoughts to the crowd. As far as Speaker 2 is concerned, Vishnu, he was totally blessed today, like his speech, because he did not use any CRPS today. Evaluator 1, Manish, you had multiple us and filler words such as so, like. When you were here before, when you were introducing it to your speaker, that is when you did not have a lot of these. While you were giving out a report, that is when I noticed this more often. In the contrary, Toastmaster Prakhar actually did not use any crutch sounds. He used a couple of filler words, and that was when he initially came on the stage to introduce his speaker. But throughout his speech, he was able to maintain a nice aura and not use any of these. The table topic master, just when I thought Toastmaster Arundhati would not be, Toastmaster, would not be using us, she did use one or two at the end. And coming to speaker 1 for table topics, the first set, Toastmaster Akshay, you used a lot of repetition then. You used I. So yeah, Toastmaster Arundhati, you can get back to it. And most of the table topic speakers used us and crutch words like so and. But that's understandable because it's a difficult situation. So just going back quickly, Toastmaster Sarthak, Srinidhi and Madhur used a lot of us. Toastmaster Riya, I guess Riya and Sharan, they used like so. And Priyansh and Kaushik used a lot of us. And finally, just getting, crutch words were 65 total. Total repetitions were 8. Unintentional pauses were 3. And filler words were 39. Thank you.
Now it's time to call upon Toastmaster Ruchi to read out the grammarian report.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm back with the report. Some of the good usages today were President Akshay used to reach the zenith, and during table topic you said instant gratification. PM Modi, Neville, you used lot of good words. Among them, some were meticulously, anchor your mind, testament. Rohit, general evaluator of the day, you use the word to keep an eye on. Speaker 1, Ishan, you used words such as resonating, echoing, and you also said eyes lights up. Speaker 2, Vishnu, low phase of life. Table topic master, Arundhati, unfolds in our life, segue completely, digressed were some of the good usages by you. Evaluator 1, imbibe. Evaluator 2, Prakhar, stint, thunderous applause. Use that twice with a good emphasis. Now, and Ishan's friend, sorry, I forgot your name. Sarthak. Yes, I wrote Sarthak, but then I thought we already had a Sarthak. Sorry, Saran. You said sedentary lifestyle. Now, coming back to some of the improper usages, his wickets don't fall easy. Instead, it could be easily his wickets doesn't fall. The eyes of these children lights up. The eyes of your grandchildren lights up. Huge background music, loud background music. It is icebreaker. It is an icebreaker speech. For me, I am interested to try new things. Personally, I am interested to try out new things. And I'm very sad to inform you, only twice the word of the day, fatigue, was used. That is by our Toastmaster of the day, Neville. So kudos, Neville. That is my report for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ruchi. Now it's time to test out your listening skills. So I would like to invite the listener Toastmaster Wasim back on stage.
Good afternoon, everyone, again. So, to set the stage first, please do not shout the answers. Raise your hands, and then I will pick the person who can answer.
And you have to wait for the mic to come to you.
Yeah. And as usual, you have the greatest rewards of all time, a Kit Kat, whoever answers. And this time I went with the Kit Kat because sometimes it's partial answers, so you can split and take if you want. So let's jump into the questions. What was the trait that Neville compared table topics to? Yes.
Composure.
That's right. It's composure. Okay, let's go to the second one. Who was the person Ishan's father started business with initially?
Ronnie Screwwala.
That's right. Going forward, like, what did Akshay refer as virus in his table topics? Yes, Srinidhi.
Social media?
Right. Okay. Now let's go to the next table topics. What state did Madhur represent in his sports? Yeah, Ria.
Maharashtra.
Right, it's Maharashtra. Okay, let's get a little more difficult ones. How many treks did Priyansh has been to so far?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
22?
Nope. Wait, Ria wants to take a chance?
2?
That's right, 2. Okay. So, who is the budding writer among us? Okay, Rohit has been.
Manish.
That's right, Manish. Okay. One last one. Should we go with a simple one or a difficult one? Okay. Which college is Vishnu from?
No.
Disqualified. Did you choose her?
No, I didn't choose her. She didn't raise her hands in first place.
Change the question.
Okay. Okay, what was the initial name of Ishan's competitor? The initial name of Ishan's competitor.
Who's it?
Okay. Kaushik.
Kirana store.
No. Sharan.
Kirana cart.
Huh?
Kirana cart Private Limited.
That's right, yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. It was a great session. So many.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Wasim, for such a fun listening activity, testing out our skills. I hope we have definitely aced at it. Now it's time for my general evaluation report. I hope that fatigue has not set in all the audience members. Starting off with Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Raffle. Your plus points were introduction of a game to lift up the audience, to introduce what is Toastmaster so that guests who are attending this meeting for the first time, they get the context setting. And the third, the introduction of the rules so that we can have a very formalized professional meeting. some areas of feedback, areas of improvement for you is, since you are the first person coming on stage, maybe you can smile more while reading out your script, and try to bring in more energy with your voice when you are trying to deliver the essay address for the future meetings. Toastmaster Akshay, as the presiding officer, your plus points were warm welcome, as usual, what it Toastmasters, guest introductions. Particularly, I love the active listening which you displayed, and you greeted them when they were done with their introductions. I love those. And finally, the theme introduction. Areas of improvement for you would be to have a more specialized introduction for the Toastmaster of the day, so that he feels more special and welcome when he comes onto the stage. Next up, we have Toastmaster of the day, Neville. Your plus points are sharing the personal anecdotes while talking about the theme, the memes to engage the audience. Number 3, active listening. When both the speakers were done with their speeches, the comments which you made made me realize that you were so into the speeches, and you listened properly to each of those comments, so those comments were nice. Something to work upon is, throughout the TMOD address, I noticed that you go at a certain pace. So maybe see how you can introduce pauses so that the audience can also relax and observe the information which you are trying to put in. The second one is related to the theme. The theme was Zen in Office Hustle, but I felt that the theme today which you talked about was mostly related to the distractions, monkey mind going to Zen mind. So maybe talking about a couple of other points, like how do you handle tough deadlines, or how do you handle tough co-workers, or maybe changing the title of the theme, going from monkey to monk. Either of these two better comprehend the theme which you're talking about. Next up, we have the Taggle reports. Toastmaster Bulbul, no feedback for you. Your plus point was the meticulous report when you read out the timings for each of the role players who came on stage today. Toastmaster Prab Simran, for the counter, plus points. I really love the creativity which you took in to introduce the CRPF. Great job there. The second one, very detailed report towards the end, focusing on the patterns which the speakers are using. Only area of improvement would be when you were trying to introduce the CRPF, you gave the examples, however, focusing on the individual words, like, okay, but, you know, where, these are the actual fillers which contribute. So that was a disconnection which I felt. Next up, we have the grammarian, Toastmaster Ruchi. Your report as well as the introduction were the plus points, no feedback as such engine for you. Next up, we have Toastmaster Wasim. Your plus points were definitely the questions which you curated for everyone, and dissecting that into simple and difficult ones. No feedback for you also. Next up, I will not be giving evaluations for the speakers, as the individual evaluators have already done. Let me give the feedback for evaluator number 1, Manish. When you set the highlight as conclusion, I would have loved to hear the conclusion back again in your evaluation report. What the conclusion was that? The second one, I felt that the areas of improvement which you gave for the speaker were too many, such as hand gestures, looking down, eye contact. So maybe you can restrict to one, say just looking down, because that's the first thing which you can work upon. Giving too many areas of improvement may not be helpful for an icebreaker speaker. Next up, Toastmaster Prakhar. One area of improvement for you would be to see how you can change the choice of words when you said the word nitpick. You could have said that since you're already a proficient speaker, as I saw from your icebreaker, a challenge which you could take up is having pauses in your feature speeches rather than saying I'm nitpicking in your speech. Next up, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Arundhati. The art of conversation, definitely love the new format, something which is not common in Toastmasters. The plus point would be when you are introducing a new format, it is quite easy for the audience to not understand it, or the entire section go haywire, which I didn't see. And that was particularly because of the explanation coupled with the demo which you gave to each and everyone, so that everyone comprehends what the format is going to be. And the second one is definitely the active listening, the comments which you shared after each pair of speakers were done. Now let me jump into the speakers. The first pair, Toastmaster Akshay and Sarthak. The plus points for you are complimenting each other, talking about the theme. However, the feedback points are, I noticed that the conversation started with Sarthak saying books are getting rare. Maybe I don't feel that is a conversation starter. You don't walk up to someone and just say books are getting rare, right? Maybe some other thing to ease off the conversation would help. The second one, when the second theme came in, education, I felt the topic was more on audiobooks, so I would have loved to see the education getting the highlight towards the second half. Next pair of speakers, Madhur and Srinidhi. Your plus points were, again, how well you complemented each other, especially the second half, which is the family part, where the focus was the family and how you coupled it with the sports. And another one would be the ending. That was best ending, which I saw that my mom is calling, I have to gotta go, right? Complemented with the theme as well, and you had brought the end to the discussion. The only feedback point for you would be that the first half felt more like a Q&A session, where the first speaker was just asking questions and the second speaker was just replying back. So maybe a feedback, how you can complement each other and try to bring your points as well, rather than just answering back the questions, whatever the other person is asking. The third pair, Kaushik and Priyansh. The plus points would be the interesting questions which were asked during the conversation. Particularly, how many rotis did you eat, the maximum number of rotis did you eat, plus the hobby that no one knows. What's the benefit of this? Because these type of questions unfolds stories on which you can build upon the entire conversation. The only feedback for you would be that I noticed that Kaushik didn't get enough time towards the end to talk about his own hobbies. So see how both of you can better manage the time, so that both of you get equal opportunity to talk about the topic. And then the final speaker set, Ria and Sharan. Both of you complimented each other. I particularly liked how you segued into the second topic, particularly from health to vacations. I like to cheat on vacation. That's a good transition to move to the next topic. The only feedback for your team would be the abrupt ending. As soon as you saw the red card, I think 20 seconds, you just, oh, it's time up, nice meeting you. So see how you can, once you see the red card, how you can easily smoothen the ending of the conversation and wrap it off. Well, that's all from my general evaluation report. I would now request all of you to take out your mobile phones and go to bit.ly BHTM vote 2. bit.ly/BHTM vote 2. Yes. Also, you can read out the voting link on the screen as well. bit.ly/BHTM vote 2. Here you can vote for your best role taker, best auxiliary role player, best evaluator, best table topic speaker pair, and your overall meeting feedback. I would request all of you to please keep on voting, as we have not got sufficient votes. We'll have 60 more seconds to do so. Okay, I've got the thumbs up from the Vice President of Education. But I've got another thumbs up from the President.
Entertain for a while.
Entertain. Wasim, do you have extra questions?
Yeah. So, how long has it been for Kaushik in Bangalore?
I know the answer, but I would give it to. That's correct.
Whose audiobook is Akshay listening to currently?
This is not applicable for folks who have still not voted.
Which position did Srini take in football? Who hasn't said yet? That's right.
Chocolates are not there for this round.
I think I had one chocolate, but I'm not sure if it's still there. The chocolate is I think, yeah, these are the questions.
Now back to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohit. While we are preparing and tallying the results, can I have one or two guests come and maybe share their experience on what do they think about Toastmasters here at Bright Hearts? And why don't we start with the quiet gentleman right there, giving me the death stare. Can we have Toastmaster or former Toastmaster Mani come on stage to share a few words? There was no way I was not going to let you talk. So, there you go. Entertain.
Good evening, everyone. So, it was so refreshing for me coming back after a break and attending this meeting with a lot of, it's like all new persons only. The energy which you got on stage, it was so impressing me that the days where I felt like very embarrassed to come on stage and speak. And I'm so blessed to be here. That way, yesterday I got that invitation from Mr. Akshay, and I wish a lot of best wishes to this club and grow more and more episodes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, with that, in the interest of time, we are going to announce the winners. May I request Arundhati to please assist me with that? Proper is there. All right. But before we do that, we do have an announcement. How many weeks has it been since Bright Heart started the pre-charter meetings? Can any Bright Heart answer this? 9 meetings, right? It's been a roller coaster ride. Safe to say there were days where we put in a lot of effort, a lot of fatigue kicked in, right? But here we are working together, and again, like I said yesterday, at the open house. For those of you who weren't aware, yesterday HSR Toastmasters conducted an open house here in Hustle Hub, and a bunch of us from Bright Hearts went to attend it. Could we have maybe one Bright Heart who attended that? Just share quickly what your experience was. We can give you the mic. So Ruchi, why don't you come on stage and tell us what your experience was at yesterday's open house? Let's hear it for Ruchi.
I think it was very good to be in HSR club and the energy that this club brings and the professional speakers that they all are. So there was a lot for me as a beginner to learn from there, as well as I really liked the educational session, and this last part that we did was my best bit, where we promoted our club for new guests and members to join. That was the best part for me. But overall it was really good. And it also helps to, get out of our own club, go and see what other clubs are doing. So we get to learn from other clubs who are more older and more experienced than us as well.
Thank you so much. So, like I said, safe to say that our members have been putting in a lot of hard work, and just a lot of fatigue has been kicking in as well. If there was only a way we could just relax for a bit, What's that? Is there something coming up? What's that? Do I have good news for everyone? Do I have good news? I think I do. Next Sunday, potluck karaoke time. Let's go! September 8th, 7 p.m. onwards. What did I do wrong? Oh my God, please. I just whipped up that poster like 30 seconds ago. Pre-charter meeting 10. It's going to be a potluck karaoke night. As usual, we're going to have our meeting from 4 p.m. to 6:15, after which the karaoke starts later. Bring your pretty dresses, bring your food, and most importantly, bring your singing skills. Let's now go into the winners of Pre-charter meeting 9 of Bright Hearts Toastmasters, starting with the best auxiliary role taker. And the winner is Bright Heart, Prabsimran Kaur. Prabsimran, wonderful performance once again. You showcased the experience you have in the fraternity by bringing so much innovation to your role today, by demonstrating each of the different CRPFs, and also the way you presented your report was so meticulous, so useful, along with the cumulative tallies at the end. What can I say? Wonderful job. Congratulations. Coming next to the best conversationalist, or rather the best table topic speaker today, the winner is Toastmaster Srinidhi Joshi. Srinidhi, turns out we have two things in common. It's our hair and our ability to start good conversations. Clearly you're someone who can engage, because everyone shows you as the best conversationalist for today. So I'm sure after this meeting is over as well, we're all going to be talking to you. See how you do it with so much flair. On that note, once again, congratulations. You may stand right here as well. Next, we have the best evaluator. The winner is from HSR Toastmasters. How is this joke still funny? It's the third week in a row I'm doing this. Now it's just like a social experience. How long will this be funny? The best evaluator is Toastmaster Prakhar Tandon. Prakhar, your surprise surprises me. Did you see his expression when he got the name announcement? It was very good. Very, very nice. I think you were up against a very, very seasoned evaluator in Manish, but today I think you were ahead of the race thanks to your empathetic evaluation, which had a lot of great points and a very nice conclusion as well. Wonderful job. Congratulations. And now we come to the best role taker for pre-charter meeting 9. The winner is Bright Heart, Neville Shah. This certificate is a formality, Neville. Me and Arundhati have decided whatever role you take, you will win only. You are the winner in our hearts, because with that smile, how can we let you lose? Can you imagine if this face ever chose to frown? Right? Imagine the poverty it would cause in our hearts, right? So I would never do that. You are the winner in everything you do. That being said, jokes aside, wonderful job today. Great use of slides. Great use of the monkey in our head and how we can calm it down. I had a lot of fun. We all had a lot of fun. Congratulations once again. And now, the best speaker for pre-charter meeting 9. It's been a tough set of wars every Sunday, with Bright Heart getting up against Bright Heart to come out as a winner, as a victor, as the best icebreaker. And today, the winner was a man. And the winner is none other than Bright Heart, Vishnu Pradeep. Vishnu, safe to say, it's almost Onam. You have a certificate. Drinks are on you next week. Mahabali would be pretty upset if that wasn't the case. Wonderful, engaging icebreaker. I spoke to someone yesterday, and to give everyone a bit of context, Vishnu was part of the crew of 4 people who made the announcement about Bright Hearts, and so many members of HSR came to me after that and told me, who was that guy who started the announcement? He had so much energy, so much charisma. And I was so proud because he's our member. No, that guy is our, he's my member at Bright Hearts Toastmasters. Also, he's a Malayali, you know. So much pride, and it's just great to see what our members, Arundhati, are doing in the infancy stage of their Bright Hearts journey. You're going to be a powerhouse in the future, no doubt about it. Much greater than you are right now, which is scary, right? How much greater can you get? I can't wait to see. Congratulations once again. And let's have a big group photo with everyone. May I request Neville and Vishnu to stand to my right and the other winners to stand to my left. I will give my camera to the camera woman. You will... Okay. Is it clear? All right, come close. Everyone smile. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, once again, next week, pre-charter meeting 10, potluck karaoke night. This is not just for Bright Hearts members, this is for Bright Hearts extended family, HSR Toastmasters. Bring your friends, bring your wives, bring your husbands, bring your girlfriends, bring your boyfriends, because we at Bright Hearts like to party right. And in Toastmasters, the right way is the bright way. I now declare pre-charter meeting 9 closed. May I request everyone to please come on stage for the group photo.